like cards. It's not what you dealt, but how you play it. To play each situation correctly. I remember they used to laugh at a brother.
Welcome back, guys. Welcome back. It's your boy DELRAY, Richardson, platinum artist, platinum songwriter, Straight Game TV. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate your time. I appreciate you guys subscribing to the channel. Hit the thumbs up button. If you haven't subscribed, please do. And if you want to be one of the first people notified when I drop some of this straight game, just please hit the bell notification. Like I said, I really, really appreciate you guys rocking with me, rolling with me, and just clicking the play button. Like I said, I'm coming to bring you nothing but facts, nothing but truth, unbiased information in regards to my late brother Tupac Shakur. I'll be talking about various other things, but at this particular time, this is where I'm at. So like I said, once again, thank you. As you know, I posted a video recently of the visit down to the museum in downtown Los Angeles at LA Live, and it's a museum in regards to all the Tupac memorabilia, poems, letters, contracts, things of that nature, his clothes, important events that happened in his life, being born, growing up, in the Panther life, the Black Panther life, and so on and so forth. But there was one thing in particular that struck me that deals with a lot of black males, I would say in particular, but also dealing with Tupac, and it's dealing with the situation involving Afeni not telling Tupac who his real father was. But this one letter in particular exposes not only what she told him, but what he believed at that particular time. And I'm gonna give you the dynamics of the many effects of that situation when you deal with that, because Tupac spoke as much on it in his life. You know what I mean? In one interview, he basically said, you can tell how by the way that I talk, if you talk to me, if you met me, that I didn't have a father present. You understand what I'm saying? And it was so poignant that he spoke on that, because that played a major part in who he was and some of the things that he did and didn't do. And in this letter, I'm going to get right into it. It's titled The Panther and the Gangster, and it's chapter 1. And you can read along. And it says, my father's life is a mystery to me, but I will share what little information I do have with you. His given name was Kenneth Saunders. He had a daughter from his first marriage before my mom, and he was a well-known gangster in the streets of Harlem, New York. But not by Kenneth Saunders on the streets. He was known as Legs. Because of his tall stature and his large physical build. I also know that he was an addicted freebaser and a natural sweet-talking con man. I know this from personal experience. Besides that, that's all I know about my father. It's a shame all I have is a half of a page history on the man who helped bring me into this world. I can say he was good to me for the 6 months I spent with him. But in the words of the classic song, Papa was a rolling stone. Wherever he laid his hat was his home. And when he died, all he left me was alone. I find that very revealing, very sad, and very unfortunate. As you can see, this letter was from a young Tupac, not the Tupac that we had grown to know and become the superstar that he was. But this letter is important because it was part of his development and why he became the person that he did. Each and everything that we go to becomes a part of molding and shaping who we'll become. We basically are the sum of our experiences, right? And so with this letter, what it says to me is that his mother didn't tell him who his real father was. And I'm not sure if Tupac ever forgave her for that, if you will. Because, like I said before, the first time Tupac had met his real father, that he knew who he was and was able to discern, truth from lie, fact from fiction, was when he was shot in Bellevue Hospital after the Quad Studio situation. And so the most interesting part about this is the fact that I also have a picture of Tupac's birth certificate, right? And on his birth certificate, as you can see right here, Afeni didn't put, it has Afeni Shakur name on it, it has Tupac's name on there, but she didn't put Mr. Kenneth Saunders, who she had told Tupac was his father. And she also didn't put Mr. Billy Garland, who she knew was Tupac's father. You understand what I'm saying? And I don't know if it was because of some of the things that she was going through at that particular time. Tupac had talked about, his mother's drug use and so on and so forth. I don't really know, that aspect of it. But like I said, when Tupac was old enough, once he was in the hospital shot up, he said, there was this guy who came into the hospital who looked just like him. And he knew that, from that point on, that was his father. And so this is very, very interesting to me, because a lot of black males and our development to become men, the father is missing in the household. And a woman can't show a man how to be a man. It takes another man, real man, should I say, to be able to do that. And so, I bring this to you because I don't know what reason that she would have not to tell Tupac who his real father was, but I know this goes on a lot in our community. And so what I wanted to do, I just wanted to bring this out, and I wanted, you guys to chime in and basically tell me what you thought about this. You know what I mean? If you had any personal experiences, people who had experiences in dealing with this situation. And what's also interesting is Tupac, when he says in the letter that I know he was an addicted freebaser, and a natural sweet talking con man. And I know this from personal experience. So what that says to me is Tupac basically witnessed, this guy, Legs, Kenneth Saunders, using drugs. Like I said, he said he knew it from personal experience. I take that for what that is. This is not dealing with record company stuff. This is dealing with something personal. And it seems to me that it was some kind of a school project, or just him, doing what he naturally did and writing down a journal. I just think that this is important, as a learning lesson to women and men alike, why some of us turn out the way that we do, and it's never really the child's fault. It always usually starts at home. And so, this is real powerful to me. You know what I mean? Like I said, and Tupac basically knew that he had a daughter, from his first marriage, but before he met Afeni, and all of those things. It's really, really poignant, because at the end, then here comes the musical part that was important in his life, because he remembered the song. Papa was a Rolling Stone, and so he, not all he left us was alone. He said all he left me was alone. You know what I mean? And but like I said, once again, when his real father was actually living, which is Mr. Billy Garland, and who's living today. So I just wanted to bring this to you guys. Like I said, I think this, this is important for us. And the crazy part is, Tupac said he only spent 6 months with him, and to think that he would think that his father abandoned him, somebody who he thought was his real father, but was truly somebody just who had a relationship with his mom. you know, when, you know, for whatever reason, his father was somewhere, you know, around and about, you know what I mean? So yeah, this, like I said, once again, you know, chime in, yo, tell me what you think about this, because like I said, this affects our community. You know, when you deal with like Tupac writing Brenda's Got a Baby, this is one of those things that when you look at this letter, you say, okay, this Tupac was autobiographical, if you will, in his music, you know, and putting his feelings and what he had been through in his life. And I think that's why a lot of us can really, truly, honestly relate to who he was, even after his death. And like I said, if you get a chance, please do go down to that the museum and really check it out. You know what I mean? And support his estate, as well as the foundation that his sister has set up. You know what I mean? The Tupac Amaru Shakur Foundation. Yeah. Your boy DELRAY, straight game.